Whether you want to plan a funeral that is simple or elaborate, our hope is to make each service as special as your loved one. To learn more, visit us online at SchulerFamilyFH.com.
All righty, it is morning sports desk time on this Friday, November 3rd. Hold on here. I am all out of sorts. What kind of morning are we trying to deal with here on KWAD and the morning sports desk? And I need to do this. We've got CJ patched in. How are you this morning, CJ?
A little full morning of sports. East Grand Forks from GF, and I got 2 more games at the Fargo Dome today, so it never stops here with our sports coverage.
All right, so I'm going to try to make one more phone call. While I do that, CJ, I'm going to give you the floor because yesterday, our very first section championship coverage of the day saw the Otter Tail Central Bulldogs punch their ticket to the state football tournament. Why don't you give us a little review of that football game?
Yeah, I mean, these are 2 teams that played once in the regular season. Otter Tail Central did beat Border West. The interesting pretext for this game is that it's the first time that Border West and OTC have met at the Fargo Dome, but at the same time, both teams are very familiar with the stage. I mean, Otter Tail Central has been to the Fargo Dome a few times over the last 5 to 10 years here, and we're here last year as a Section 6A team. They dropped down to 9-man this year, and they've been a very good football team. They were, I believe, 9-0 coming into this game, and they've just basically beaten everybody in their path to this point. But now they're doing it for the first time as a 9-man team. Border West is a consolidation of Herman Norcross and Clinton Grady and Beardsley, so them coming together and doing some stuff. Nothing new for them to be in this spot because Herman Norcross was there a year ago.
Yeah.
Border West is a good moment.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Football's a pretty simple game when you can run the ball that way. There's really no other story to it. If you can run the ball that efficiently, why would you even mess around with anything else? Mm-hmm. That's right. It's the Section 2 winner that they await. That game is being played tonight. You were busy yesterday. You didn't have to travel too far down the road. You came back into Minnesota and over to Glendon for 8 AA playoff volleyball. Then in the early portion of the evening, it was Wadena, Deer Creek, and East Grand Forks. And from the sounds of it, it seems like the Wolverines just took care of business. Yeah.
Boulder finished with 18.
And there are the 3-4 seeds in that section. So the top 2 seeds eliminated in that section semifinal yesterday. I had Section 5A volleyball, CJ, and I had a late one last night over at Crosby Ironton and Dave Galovich Gymnasium. The first match of the night saw Pine River Bacchus beat Mille Lacs in 4. And the Tigers played well to punch their ticket. The game I was there to cover was the Nevis Tigers and the Verndale Pirates. And the Nevis Tigers, the 1 seed on that half of the subsection, or that half of the section, I should say. The Verndale Pirates are the 3 seed. And I'll tell you what, this game and this match looked like it was going to be over in an absolute flourish. Nevis came out and just dominated set number 1 and 2. And you're just like, you're starting to look at the clock and you're like, boy, I don't see how this goes any other way than we're just out of here in 3. And then the Verndale Pirates showed up and actually, like, they, as bad as they got beat in the first 2 sets, they beat Nevis in set number 3. It showed some really good like perseverance in that 3rd match. There was one particular standout for Nevis, I thought, in the match last night, and that was senior Olivia Olson. She went out, landed on an ankle or something. There was kind of like a loose ball right at the net, and the point was over. Kaylee Bessler of Nevis was on the ground, and she actually crossed underneath the net. And Olivia Olson for the Pirates landed on her and turned her ankle pretty bad. I mean, she looked right at Coach Johnson and said, I need to get out of here right now. And she walked off under her own power and went right over to the bench to get it taped, and then spent basically the remainder of the match, when she wasn't on the floor, pacing behind her bench, just trying to keep that ankle loose. And she was up and moving. And she, when it came time to, when she was feeling okay, she looked right back at Coach Johnson and said, put me back in. I'm ready to roll. So she really toughed out. I think she's probably hurting this morning. Now that's not a fun one. That's the scary thing about volleyball, is you can come down on someone across the net, and she fought through it and played, I thought, really well. The standout player, of course, for the Nevis Tigers, though, was Kaylee Bessler. I had her for 26 kills on the night, and she is just straight up dynamic. That is an understatement, to say the least. But it's the two top seeds now in each subsection playing for that 5A championship. Nevis and Pine River Bacchus, they're the top two teams in the Northland Conference. They're now the top two teams in Section 5A, and they'll play for a right to the state tournament on Saturday. Of course, CJ, our coverage isn't done. You're going to be busy at the Fargo Dome again today. Do you want to run through this this preview or this schedule, or do you want me to run through it since I'm looking at it? Okay, it gets going with the 6A championship. This is football, and it is Parker's Prairie versus New York Mills. Of course, the interesting thing about this one is Parker's Prairie is the 1 seed, but those New York Mills Eagles, CJ, 6th in the section. Pretty incredible what the Eagles have been able to put together to get to this section championship. It's a 12:10 pregame with a 12:30 kickoff on 105.9 FM, the Superstation K106. Then on KNSP, The Fan, that's AM 1430 and 98.5 FM. It is the 6AA football championship, Staples Motley versus Osakis. The Silver Streaks, the 1 seed, the Cardinals, the 3 seed, scheduled for a 2:40 pregame and a 3 o'clock kickoff. Now, CJ, I know you had the opportunity to talk to both Coach Johnson of the Panthers and Coach Radnicki of the Eagles. What is kind of the overarching theme as you prepare for that 6A championship today? Yeah, that's right. And then Staples Motley and Osakis is the 6AA championship on the Fan. Looking forward to a really fun matchup, obviously, with that one. Tyler Grunwald will have the play-by-play. I know he's going to be there to help a little bit with the 6A championship, and then you guys will do a little role reversal for the 6AA title tilt. Before I let you get out of here, CJ, a few things we want to cover statewide, just very, very quickly. The Twins extended, I guess, or extended the option, picked up the option on Max Kepler and Jorge Polanco. So they're around for another season. Kind of a bounce back year for Max Kepler, especially offensively. But just keeping options open for the Twins, aren't they, with those extensions?
Those two guys.
Right. Right. And the Vikings are on the road at Atlanta this weekend, 11 o'clock pregame noontime kickoff on the Superstation K106. Atlanta's not great, but they're feisty and weird. Obviously, the Vikings going through some tumult right now with the loss of their quarterback. Jaron Hall will get the start on Sunday. Do you have a gut feeling about Sunday, or is it just, let's just ride this wave and see what happens? That's right. CJ, have a good call later this afternoon. We'll check you later. Thanks for joining us this morning remotely from, let's just call it the Fargo Dome. We'll talk to you later. That's the morning sports desk for Friday, November 3rd.
News Network, I'm Brent Palm. The state Supreme Court's now considering a petition to keep former President Trump off the Minnesota